Hey everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a different version of this cute little open-ended treat holder. So this holds Stampin' Up! I'm not sure if they have this exact size, but they sold these size of cello bags and they were great for filling with loose treats. So I made this little box actually quite a few celebrations ago, if you can tell from the Up and Away Designer Series paper. But I wanted to make a redone version of this. I actually created it for the other treat holder that I made with the Little Debbies, but it actually was a little bit too narrow when I redid it, and it kind of smushed them. So what I decided to do was, I figured since I had this done already, I would just make another version. So we're going to do this one in Real Red, okay? And to do this, you're going to need a piece of cardstock. Now you can do any cardstock, and I do have a template to share with you. So this is what it's going to look like eventually. This one is in Melon Mambo. This is going to measure 10 by 6, okay? So I'm going to grab the Simply Scored, and on the 6-inch side, we'll start with that. Now you can do this one of two ways, as I've said before. You can either score 2 and 4, or you can score it 2 and then flip it 90 degrees. So if there's any question that you might not have trimmed your paper exactly to the size, I would stick with the flipping it method. So we'll score it at 2, flip it 90 degrees and score it at 2. Whoops, jump the track there. And if you ever do have issues with jumping the track, so basically I've made a little second score line, so for me it's no big deal, but if you were doing projects and you really wanted to make sure you stayed in the lines, you can always rub some wax paper over top before you start scoring, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be dollar store wax paper, which actually works a little bit better. So now we're going to go over to the 10-inch side, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and then at 2.5 inches, and then you can score it at 7.5 and 9.5, or you can flip it 90 degrees and just repeat. So once again, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and then at 2.5 inches. Oops. Okay, so we're ending up with this piece, but we're going to trim it down to look like this. So we're going to be taking some off. So let me show you what we're going to do. So to start, we're going to go ahead and get our bone folder and just reinforce all of our score lines. So this would be great. We're going to decorate ours for Valentine's Day, but this would be great for pretty much any small treat that you need, really any year, any time of year, because you could use any Designer Series paper, any color cardstock, any theme. So it's very versatile, and it is open-ended, so you can, if you have different cello bags, you could use any bag, and you could always add a little tag to it and some ribbon, which makes it really fun. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm going to trim on these two ends. So first off, we are going to get rid of the little thin piece on each end here. And you actually can cut this down a little bit, and I'll show you that in a second. You can cut it down a little bit if your box isn't going together very squarely on the end portion. Okay, so that's, oops, 1. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down here. So you can either cut first and then nip those little ends off, or you can cut the ends off and go second. So either way. So for this one, we'll just do the opposite. So we're going to just trim to the fold, trim to the fold, and then I'm going to remove this piece and this piece. Okay, now one other thing we're going to do, I'm going to grab my little snips, is we're going to give a little miter cut or an angle cut here, just so the flap goes in a little bit better. And as I said, you can do that also. Just kind of depends. If you notice that you're having a little trouble getting it snug, you can kind of take a little miter cut out of each one. It really helps the box go together better. So it's not really taking too much off. And I'll show you. It's just literally a little hair on each side. It's not going to matter because this part is going to be covered up. And then same thing on the other side. So we're completely omitting the center flap because that one's going to hold our box together. Okay, now The other thing I have, and I did trim these ahead of time, I have 4 pieces of designer series paper that we're going to use to decorate our box. Now, I cut this out earlier. It does match probably a tiny bit better with the contrast with the Melon Mambo, but the color will match better with the red. So kind of either way you want to go. So you're going to need one of these. These will be for the sides, or 2 of those, I should say. And then you'll need 2 pieces that will be kind of over here. And you can put these however you want. You could use the other side paper. So if you don't really want this to be a Valentine box, you could just use different colors of pink and red. And it could be completely just a regular old box. So it doesn't have to be a Valentine's box. And as a matter of fact, I'll put mine together this way because the other one I had trimmed for the hearts, but you can do it either way. So you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 4 7/8 by 1 7/8. So 2 of those. And then you'll need 2 pieces that measure 1 7/8 inches square. So 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. I am going to go ahead and put this on now because I like to put it on more so when it's flat because I seem to be able to line it up and adjust it a little bit if I need to. So I'm going to grab my Tombow. This one might very well almost be out, so. Oh, nope, surprises me. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each piece. Okay. And then I'm just going to, kind of line these up. So they're pretty much in the center of the piece they're on. Okay, there's 1 and 2. And you can absolutely put the box together before doing this, but it doesn't really make a difference. And then you have your diagonal stripes. One word of caution, do be careful, because I just realized that I smudged a little thing. Do be careful that when you are using the liquid glue that you don't touch the shiny side of the paper, so the foiled side, because it does leave a teeny bit of a smudge, but I don't think anybody's going to notice. I'm going to do my best to actually give this out this year, because a lot of times I make all these 3D projects and then I never do anything with them. So that's it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to fold these in just like so. And if all goes well, thank goodness it was as planned, we're going to fold these over. Okay, so for these 2, we're going to just use tear and tape. You do want something that's pretty strong to secure it. So you could do 2 pieces of tear and tape if you wanted to, or just 1 piece and a little bit of liquid glue. And I do apologize, I hear tiny feet coming up the steps in case there's some noise in the background. So I'm going to actually just put a teeny bit of liquid glue. I'm filming, bud. Can you not stomp? And just to move. Shh, just 1 second. No. And then I'm going to close this flap over. Just like so. So the liquid glue will kind of give you the ability that if you need to move it a little bit. And then same thing, you're going to fold this in and just press. And then all you have to do is get your little cello bag of candy. This one's a little bit wider, so it's probably not going to fit quite as well. And just set it inside just like that. So nice little treat holder that they can enjoy their treat out of and think of you. You can add something, again, you could do a little tag and add a little piece of ribbon, because we do have this beautiful satin ribbon. So you could tie that around your bag, kind of bring in the theme. Or you could use white, the white flax ribbon is another really pretty ribbon that ties really nicely, makes really great bows. So thank you very much for watching today. I truly appreciate your stopping in and leaving a comment, giving me a thumbs up, a share, a like, whatever the case may be. Thank you guys very much for tuning in day after day, week after week. I truly appreciate it. You will be able to find all the measurements for this on my blog, which is rachthestamper.com, in case you're new. And I typically do post in the bottom of the video description. The very first post is blog post, and then you will just have to copy and paste the address into your address bar, because I don't have the features yet to do link posts, but if I get to 10,000 followers, I think that's one of the greatest things. So would love for you to share this with someone who might like it. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks guys so much for stopping by. If you have any questions about this project or anything else, just shoot me an email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.